Tell me if I'm out of sync. Oh.
I just said we're live. Welcome to Grumpy Old Reds. Bloody prick. Good morning, good evening, good night. Welcome to the match preview. I still can't get excited. I really can't, man. Who are we playing? Wolves against Forest.
Always
Wolves.
Wolves.
Is it playtime? Is it playtime?
Playtime, yeah, maybe.
And what are you doing?
I'm seeing if I'm lagging. I think I am.
I thought you were going to shoot Wolfie.
That's his technique. That's why he's still single.
He's just a prick, he is.
Oh god, here we go. It's gonna be one of those streams. In the chat, how are y'all doing, as the Americans say? Welcome to the preview for Wolves versus Forest. Get the gunfire out. This is Callum, man. Yeah, get the guns out and get the guns out. Yeah. That's what it was, Tony. He's throwing up the gang signs. Put them away. Yeah, put them away. Yeah, luckily the people on the podcast can't see that. I hope you're all well. Dino, how are you, bro?
Yeah, I'm good, bro. I'm good. I'm looking forward to Sunday. Whatever. And I'm looking forward to a better performance tomorrow. But maybe that's me being stupid.
Yeah, you're stupid. Crypto. We're all banished. We're gonna cover that off tonight. Is that a smiley face or a question mark? Yeah.
Okay.
Is that a smiley face at the end of that statement or a question mark?
Both. It's a rhetorical question.
Yeah,
I'm all good. Yeah, I just wanted to add a correction to last stream because I made a reference to Cooper standing on the hill like William Wallace, but I watched it back and I realized that I said he was stood on a hill like William Shakespeare, which doesn't quite have the same effect. So,
but you didn't say Ian Wallace.
I know Cooper's a poet at half time, but yeah, I didn't mean to say that.
I don't remember you saying it, to be honest.
He probably thought, what's he on about?
I heard him. I remember him saying it, and I was like, "What's William Shakespeare got to do with standing on hills?"
Yeah,
You do realise, don't you, that William Wallace was hung, drawn, and quartered?
Yeah. Well, hopefully that.
He's the one out of Braveheart, yeah. One out of Braveheart.
Yeah, those bullshit, inaccurate historical drama ever to hit the screens. By the way,
it was a good film, mate. It was a good film.
Man, it was so bad. It was so. It bears nothing to reality whatsoever. The entire thing.
Right, like
you would know. You were probably old enough to be there, mate. So
no, I've studied the history, mate.
You know, when we're in bad form, we always talk about other stuff.
We got early this time.
You're right. It's a
coping mechanism. You're not lagging today, bro. You're not lagging.
Yeah, well, ask me how I am. Ask me how I am.
How are you?
I'm all right. As long as we don't have to, I'm all right, mate. As long as we don't have to talk about football, I'm fucking fine. But yeah, I'm fine, you prick. And all the pricks in the chat as well. I hope you're all well. But yeah, I'm all right, mate.
Hey, don't call me a prick. Are you trying to offend me? Seriously.
Have you are what you are, mate. Yeah, well,
respect.
I think you've got
Antonio.
I've got receipts.
Antonio, how are you?
I'm all right, you prick.
Okay, seriously, stop offending me.
Sorry. So disrespectful.
Show me some respect, man. Do you know how many hours I put into this crap every day, and you're gonna sit there and call me a prick?
You're so childlike, you lot, honestly.
Honestly.
You are children.
And you're the one lagging, you prick. At least my internet connection.
Shall I go out and come in again, or shall I just go out and stay out?
Yeah, get out and come back in.
There's only one prick. I'm intrigued. Right,
there's only one prick on the panel. Oh, who is the biggest prick on here? We should do a poll.
Time for a poll.
It's definitely, yeah.
It's just fun. The biggest one just went.
Well, it's definitely not me. And you can only have 4 in it, so you might as well not put me in the polls. Just put yourselves down, innit?
Let's say hi to the guys.
Was it me and that got voted it last time?
Yeah, I think so.
We did, didn't we? Have a re-poll.
He said, if I wasn't such a prick, I'll be furious. Keith, you're my favorite prick. You really are. What we got here? I don't know what you're talking about. Vinny's saying we won't get another point this year, guaranteed. Vinny, don't be so negative, Vinny. Don't be so negative. Dor called you a prick for calling Cooper a prick. Doug called you out for calling Cooper a prick. Does Dor still do videos?
Is he still alive? Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Nikki, load of prick. Nikki, you are the biggest prick of them all, man. It's good to see you in the chat.
Yeah, chief prick. Yeah.
Wolverine is Grumpy FC here. Oh, we had a little team. Oh my god, now you're all claiming your pricks, man. Seriously. Seriously. Yeah, I would do a poll, but half of you say you can't see it. Hey, there's the jolliest prick.
Where's that one? Grumpy old prick.
Let's move on. Simon, please show some respect, Si. Grumpy old. That's the best one.
I wish we'd have thought of that.
Oh my god, man!
I think
You came up with calling me a prick. Tricky Mickey.
Lost the dressing room here.
Huh?
You've lost the dressing room here.
Lost the dressing room, lost the audience, lost everything. Yeah. All right. As long as we're not saying dicks. That would be going too far, was it? That would be going way too far. Sorry. All right, let's kick off. Let's kick off and let's talk about. By the way, I love you, Thomas, because what you put up reminded me to do something on which I'll do it in a bit. If I don't, remind me. And all right, why did we start this prick thing, man? Seriously, right, no more keyword. No.
Well said, Mohammed. Well said.
Which word, Mohammed? Which word?
Well said. Well said.
I like Mohammed.
Eds is gone, man. He's gone from brown to red, man. Anyway, this is what we want to kick off with. How was Big Norm yesterday? He was goddamn
what a legend.
Amazing.
What a handshake.
And you're still lagging.
That's one hand.
He fixed Ez's lag and now he's moved it to you. He's moved it to you. Anyway, Dino,
I'm not.
What did you think of Big Norm?
You know what? I'd heard some of the stories before, but he still told me something different in every story. It was fantastic. He's such a funny guy. He really is. He's an absolute legend. I didn't realize how many games he'd had in his career.
Can you remember how many? Can you remember for Forest anyway?
No, for Forest.
Yeah.
393?
Yeah.
Correct.
We should have asked the chat. We should have asked the chat.
Move forward.
How many games did he have?
I was going to give it 393, man. Seriously, why would you do that?
Yeah, he
what?
did.
Why you look on silent? What happened?
Shit house.
He was great, chat. He was great. It was such a great night. It really was. Really great night.
I'll tell you lot something that I didn't tell you yesterday. It's so embarrassing.
Oh God, yeah. Yeah, tell us live on air. Why don't you?
Chat, right. Let's pretend we're not live on air, right? So I was talking to Joe and we are just sorting out the running order and stuff. And then suddenly he turns to me and goes, right, yeah, go for it. I was like, what now? It's like, bro, you just hitting me with it. I was like, okay. I was like, let me just speak to Big Norm first. I just want to check, does he want me to introduce him as Big Norm or does he want me to introduce him as Mark Crosley, right? So I come over to him. I was like, Mark, okay, just a quick question, mate. Do you prefer it when we call you Big Norm or do you want me to introduce you as Mark Crosley? Or shall I call you Shithead? And he was like,
Shithead. Shithouse.
Or prick.
Oh, prick.
And he goes, well, you can, but that's not what coffee is to call me.
Shithead. Did you really? Oh my God, he's such a
Oh my God. Great way to start the show.
I think you can come, can't you? I think you can.
No, you can't.
How old's Charlie? How old's Charlie?
18.
I was 18.
Sorry.
I don't know how Charlie got in. Oh, mate, I was like, oh my God, man. Oh my God. But yeah, a quick shout out to the legend though, Sharky. £5, the absolute legend. Put this on a top 10 finish and we will split the winnings. Marinakis, new manager. We're getting all into that. Yeah, into that.
It wasn't our production, but is there a video that everyone could see?
No.
Basically,
What do we do with these? But are they corporate or something? Because the Stuart Pearce one.
Events. These are like they're sponsored. I think is by I can't remember who's sponsored. Carling.
Green King, isn't it? Green King.
Yeah,
Green
King. And then they hire a marketing agency who got in touch with us and asked us if we would host it. It's an event that's designed for the people that are in there. But don't worry, shit house, whatever it is now. Spoke to him. He's honestly one of the most down-to-earth people.
Yeah.
You just sit there and chatting away. I know, Pat. I know, right? You do it next time, Pat. Right? You do it. Anyway, one of the most down-to-earth people. He's up for coming onto a live stream with you guys as well. So yeah, we're gonna sort that probably after Christmas, to be honest, once everyone's set it up, or once everyone's settled down. But anyway, the event itself I thought was absolutely fantastic. I felt like a member of the audience sitting there. And what did you guys think to the stories, man? Well, his Cluffy impression is ridiculously good, isn't it?
He's on point with his impressions, isn't he?
He's famous for it, isn't he? He's famous for his fluffy impressions and his stories. Which I mean, I literally, I had tears coming down my face. You know, it was just so funny, and it's so amazing to think that as a young lad of 17, he went into that club, made his debut at 19, and didn't even know until half an hour before the game. And he tells you how Cluffy told him he was playing and how just so many stories. The guy's a genius. And by the way, I must say this: if anybody's not been to any of these events, Wolfie is a fantastic host. He's really, brilliant, really good.
Yeah.
So
if you can get to one, it's worthwhile.
He's a bit of a knob on here, but the events.
He's all right in public.
Not correct. No, I mean, and you can't have gone to many of these live shows then, if that's what you think. But no, I just really did enjoy it.
Interesting about Platt, wasn't it?
Yeah,
it's not a Platt.
Platt came in and took all the memorabilia down from the European Cup winning days and everything, and said, "We're not about history, we're about now." And then he sacked
three
off three key players. Sacked off three key players, and then bought the 3 Italians in the fabled Italians.
Just very quickly, a few more super chats incoming. Keith. Oh, trees. Keith, stop feeding people, Keith. Thank you so much for the £2. Marky boy with the 50.
Wow.
The $50 from Dubai.
Dirham.
Member for a year and a month. Keep up the great work, guys. Meet you at the barbecue. This channel is vital for me in Dubai. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullah. How's your Arabic coming along, Mark? If you need any help with it, just let me know, bro. Love you, bro, and thank you so much for the donation. Appreciate it. And then Nick Clark, my boy Nick Clark, down in Portsmouth with the 99p super sticker. You're an absolute legend. Now, Nick Clark has got a son, Logan. Absolute legends, okay? And chat, I want you to show Logan. And firstly, shout out to Logan, diehard Forest fan and the future of Forest. I've been watching his videos. He's absolutely gonna be better than Chris Wood. I mean, he's probably already better than Chris Wood. He has 18 subscribers on his YouTube channel. And I am gonna be personally offended if he doesn't have 100 subscribers by the end of this stream. So I'm keeping an eye on it, guys. I've pinned it in the chat. Please go not only subscribe to him, but just send him a lovely comment because he's an absolute top kid and we need these kids coming through. So make sure you go and subscribe to him. It's on 18 subscribers now. It needs to be on 100 by the end of the stream. It's already up to 20. Keep it rolling in. I am going to keep an eye on it. But Logan, you're an absolute legend.
Do you work?
As is your dad and as is your granddad, man. And Nikki.
I can't get that after I can't get the link to it.
FFTV love, let's stay positive. We are still Forest. We are absolutely. Okay, let's actually get into talking about football. We can only avoid it for so long. Actually, we can avoid it for a little longer Because Chris, keep them coming. This stops us talking.
It is
Casey's
great story.
Is the best ever.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's brilliant.
I just didn't have the balls to say. So you said you'd never play for Derby, and technically you played for a Derbyshire team.
You know what? I was that desperate to talk about Mark Crossley last night and what we experienced. I told my mum that story about it, and she hasn't got a clue. She's not in the slightest bit interested. She just had to sit and listen to me tell her. She don't know. She don't know who Crosby is. She don't know about. Yeah.
That's it. Thank you so much, Chris. And look at this. This is the love that I like to see. Anne S has subbed. Jolly Ollie has subbed as well. And I know Mohammed's going to sub.
So far. Come on, guys. Let's give the boy a.
Huh?
31 so far. Let's get him a few more. Come on.
Yeah.
No, I need 100.
By the way, AED is Arab Emirates, Durham.
We know. We know.
We know.
I didn't. I'm not wealthy enough to go to Dubai.
But Sanad said it. Sanad said Durham when he read it out.
Did he?
Exactly.
Yeah. Sanad said, yeah. That prick.
He didn't mention Arab Emirates, though, did he?
He did.
No more avoiding it. No more avoiding it.
German Frank, you know.
There's a game tomorrow. Can we talk about it?
Yeah, we're going to talk about it.
No, please not.
I do want to touch on this if we get some time. If you want us to talk football, hit that like button. There's already over 245 likes. And look at, I love this community. I love this community. I really do. Chris, thank you for the £2. You're going to nicely keep us stopping from talking about Wolves. Cluffy giving him
the Nescafe handshake, yeah.
Evening, Townsend. All right, Keith's off. We can't let Keith go. We can't. Let's do it. Okay. So
I think he means he's off laughing.
Don't know. You never know with Keith. You really never know. Anyway. Right. Football. Wolves, Forest, playtime.
That's the worst thing we ever did, wasn't it? That.
I've actually made a team up.
Oh God!
Oh, he's organised.
Like a fag packet.
I know.
yeah.
Well, I had to because I get too many or too few in the team otherwise. But it's a back five.
What?
It's a back five. Look, if we go in tomorrow, yeah.
I was going to say, firstly, you
got Murillo in the middle by any chance?
Yes.
Huh?
It's actually got Felipe in the middle. It's got Murillo as a left centre back.
No.
Murillo in the middle.
I'd go
who are you
with
having
you,
left centre back then? Who are you having left centre back if you didn't have Murillo? You have Niakate.
Worrell all day.
No, you tell us your team. You tell us.
Yeah.
Anytime, like tonight, great.
Yeah, my problem was I think that Bolly's our best right-sided centre back.
Yeah, but I'm sorry, 1 second. Did you notice I said the word Worrell and Crypto just sat up suddenly?
He's up for it. He's up for it.
Go on, then. Hit us with this team.
Okay, so I've put goalkeeper. Don't care which one it is. I just put goalkeeper.
Competent goalkeeper.
And I've actually put down, but to be fair, Ez has made me think with Niakate on the left and Murillo in the middle. But I've actually put Niakate or Bolly is right. Probably Bolly because he's right-footed. I don't like leaving Niakate out. But Felipe in the middle and Murillo. And then right wing back Williams, left wing back Toffolo. But Toffolo would be my defensive wing back if that makes sense. So he could make up a back four if Williams goes forward. Yeah.
Okay.
Mangala and Sangare in the middle, and then MGW as first of the middle of the front three with Elanga and Hudson-Odoi. So and basically MGW, I hate the idea, but a false nine, if you like.
Is Bolly fit?
I'm not sure. That's one of the reasons I put Niakate Bolly.
Yeah. I mean, setup wise, I think he should have done this 2 games ago. Should have done this against Everton and against Fulham. I've heard the argument that we're trying to run before we can walk with this four at the back, and it hasn't worked. Sangare hasn't been the player that we hoped he would be. And I think the argument is that a lot of this formation, this change to 4-2-3-1 or 4-3-3, was based on Sangare coming in and hitting the ground running and being that CDM that we were so badly missing last season, and we seem to still be missing it this season. But the argument is maybe we should have stuck with a back three for a little bit longer. I genuinely thought Cooper would have resorted to type against Fulham, and he would have done that. He didn't. We had our worst battering of the season so far. I don't think whatever he does makes any difference, but in terms of getting some confidence back in the players, I think we can't be taking another hammering tomorrow. Whatever happens, win, lose or draw, we can't get hammered tomorrow. So I probably would agree with Ant on that formation. And just move around.
Sorry, I've got new information. Bolly's evidently out. So in that case, I would go with yours. I would have Felipe on the right, Murillo in the middle, and Niakotti on the left.
Because what it does allow is Murillo to do his job with security of having two solid centre backs behind him. Let him push forward a little bit. So we toyed about the idea of playing him as a CDM. He doesn't need to play as a CDM. He just needs to play a proper sweeper. Like sweepers, people used to think sweeper just meant the last man back. No, a sweeper, a proper sweeper like Lothar Matthäus did for Germany when he played for him. When Franz Beckenbauer back in the day, he was a sweeper that came up the field with a ball, didn't he? You know, he progressed to play. Sweeper doesn't mean the last man back. So
I think they were called like liberos, weren't they?
Libero,
yeah,
I don't know.
Freedom,
yeah. Guys, what do you think?
Just quickly, Jack, I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't see a fight. That would have actually been entertaining. What
No, I didn't see a fight.
I didn't see that. No,
a couple of
I've not seen any reports of it either.
British Bulldog, right? No, don't you start jinx-serening me, right? I blame Wolverine for hyping Sangare. No, bro. And Paul's saying Doran Tour wants to come on your show, guys. He's giving you 24 hours to on. Holy shit!
Wow. Okay. By what?
Stop the stream. Stop the stream. We've got to respond.
He is more than welcome on the show. We got the fan calling, and he's a viewer.
Yeah.
Pretty.
Well, tomorrow night or Sunday. Yeah.
We are.
Who's just for the people who don't know, who's Doran Tour?
Listen, Door. To be fair, Door's one of the OGs. Before we came along, and well, just as really before we came along, he was like, you know, the guy to go to watch Forest content. So he served his years. So give him some respect, you pricks.
Well, anyway, I want to know about this fight, Jack. So give us the details on it, because play that instead of the replay. That'd be more interesting. Anyway, what you're saying here, Ant, on this back five, I'm sorry, but that's white flag for me. That's white flag.
The white flag was out a long time ago, man.
That's where we are.
Yeah, the white flag was out. I wish I had waved the white flag on Wednesday, and then maybe Fulham would have gone a little bit easier on us, or Thursday whenever we played. I wish if they might have gone a bit easier on us, and might have only been 3-0 rather than a 5-0.
I was thinking that earlier,
white flag's been out for a while, mate. The towel's been thrown in a long time ago. We're just trying to not be dead on the canvas right now. Go on, Crypto. Sorry.
I was going to say, if you actually concede a game and you don't even get on the bus, you automatically lose 3-0. So there was literally no point of even trying.
Forfeit, yeah. We'll take the forfeit, yeah. We'll take the forfeit.
The red cards. Mesl have got 3 people sent off.
Yeah, no. How many is it to send off? Isn't it 5?
It's 3. I think it's 3, isn't it? If you get 3 red cards, you forfeit. Or is it 4?
I think you have to have 7 on the pitch. I think you have to have 7 on the pitch. Once you go down below 7, then
well, it'd be nice if you had 7 on the pitch on Wednesday.
Yeah. Can you remember when I'm Sheffield United? And they were Sheffield United got the place, and they were going round flying into tackles trying to get another man sent off, so the game would be called off. And that's true.
That's disgusting.
Anyway, look. Here's the thing. Okay, this is the point to all this back 5, back 4 crap. Okay, clearly Cooper's comfort zone is the back five. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He's tried to develop into a Premier League team, and kudos to him for trying. Yeah. Clearly, this back 4-3-3, 4-2-3-1, he can't do it. He ain't got a clue how to perfect it on a pitch. Yeah.
Mm.
Therefore, is that not more reason to say that it should be someone else to play in with the 4-2-3-1 or the 4-3-3 or whatever? Because if we're going to go to back five and we're just going to low block our way to 0-0s or maybe a cheeky 1-0 counter attack, we're papering over the cracks, boys, as far as I'm concerned. So all this back five talk about tomorrow, fine. Okay, let's run this scenario through. We go to the back five tomorrow. We go Brighton style and draw 0-0. Bloody hell, look at that crypto picture. That's pretty cool. Anyway, so we go to this back five. We go and we get a 0-0 away from home. Yeah. Then what? What against Spurs? Does that mean going forward we go back to this low block? Let's hope we can sneak a 1-0 win. That's not progression. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I know, but you sound like you're like trying to fight a case for us to change under Cooper. Nothing's going to change under Cooper. All that's going to happen now is, listen, there's not even the most optimistic Cooper in fan isn't expecting him to be here by the end of the year, even by Christmas. So it's not a matter of anything other than just trying to save a little bit of face and not absolutely destroy the squad before this next manager does come in. That's what it is for me. It's damage limitation. I mean, it should have happened before. And I'm surprised that he hasn't resorted to his comfort blanket or comfort formation sooner, because his neck's been on the line for a while. It's not just happened since Wednesday. His neck's been on the line for a while. Results have been bad for a long, long time. You know, I'm sick of going over stats because it just makes me sick talking about them. But this isn't something that he's left it too late anyway. It's far too late. There's nothing. I don't think there's anything that can happen right now to change it, because what we're seeing signs of now, and all this stuff always comes out in the wash eventually. But the rumors about dressing room bust ups and breakups and stuff like that, that's clearly true. You know, all these little tidbits are going to come out now. And so for Cooper, who's been going up,
apparently Morgan Gibbs White didn't want to travel in the bus or something. And
yes, I heard he travelled down on his own. He drove down on his own.
These are all rumors, but in my lifetime, you find eventually that most of them are true. A good 80% are true.
Yeah,
I think, you know, because the club, people do leak stuff out of the club. Definitely.
Do. Particularly bad for that.
Cooper would have us believe, though, that he doesn't fear for his job. I watched his press conference earlier, and according to him, there's no pressure on him whatsoever regarding his actual position at the club.
I understand his mentality, because it's right. He says, I mean, I think the analogy he uses, if you say to a player, you know, if you don't do well this game, your career's over. You know, if you put that kind of pressure on yourself, it's not beneficial at all. So I understand from that point of view, from keeping his sanity, that he can't be thinking like that. But he's always said that he's, you know, we're together, you know, we're a group with this. I'm sorry, you're not. You've been papering over the cracks, which I'm glad you used the right term, because you've been saying paving over the cracks and papering over the cracks. I wasn't sure which terminology you want to use. Right, so he has been papering over the cracks, and it's clearly coming out now. Like I said, it's going to come out in the wash. The rumours that have been spreading around for a long time, we're going back to the end of last season when these rumours started surfacing, you know, and now you're seeing the fruition of it, because there is nobody looking at our squad, our team, how we play, can say there's a harmonious team there. Look at Everton. I'm seeing harmony there. That's where I'm seeing harmony. That's where I'm seeing togetherness and a fight, and a manager who's got a game plan. Whether you like it or not, he's got a game plan. We don't have any of those things.
He's got fight as well, though, hasn't he? Because Sean Dyche's temperament is the complete polar opposite of Cooper's.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with everything you've said, but I'm not letting the players off the hook personally.
Oh, absolutely not.
Professional footballers, they get paid a shed load of money. They just need to do their job, whether they agree with the tactics or not, or they don't like the mates. You know, there's many successful sides, not always had a harmonious dressing room. You know, maybe Steve Cooper has probably over pushed that harmonious dressing room. You've got different cultures, different languages, different ages. I know what you say, and I'm not saying Cooper's not to blame. He's the manager. He has to take the blame. But the players, the last 2 games, certainly in midweek, was disgusting as a professional.
100% agree.
As a professional footballer, where's your own, you know, pride? You know, they're all waving at the fans, and where's the pride to play for the people that partly pay the wages?
Well, let me just respond to that. So what was it? Remember when Cooper came in? Same bunch of players, and all of a sudden, the next game, I mean, this wasn't even under Cooper, this was under Stephen Reid. They put in a performance. Did we turn on those players? We're not going to turn on the players. Simple as that. We're not going to turn on the players.
I'm not listening, but well said.
I'm not saying that's right. I'm not saying that's right, but that's what happens, and that's what we're seeing now. I think.
Yeah, I know what happened, but those players would run through brick walls for Steve Cooper in that season.
At one point, yeah.
Now he's got a completely different set of players. Those 11 that ran through brick walls for him aren't there anymore. He's got a completely who probably didn't even know who Steve Cooper was before a lot of them arrived. You know, the foreign guys. You know, let's be honest. So whether they get his tactics or what he wants to do, they have a level of self-pride that they should be upholding as a professional footballer for me. It's down to the manager, and I think Steve's time's up. But the players have to take a small part of that.
I do agree, Dino. There are certain, but even Mark Crosby was saying last night, he would play for half the money, but not every player is built that way. We know this.
Especially,
absolutely. Especially foreign players that come in tend to have less of a love affair with English teams. You can understand why. But the point I was going to make is with all this, I agree, by the way, those players were a disgrace and they were not playing for the manager, the club, or the fans, which is disgraceful.
But it's not just the manager.
It's an unfortunate fact of life that if your team's successful and playing good football, you don't hear these stories. You only hear these stories when the team's playing badly and not playing a decent style. And that says it all.
A successful side.
If the manager comes in and starts playing the players a little bit more progressively where they want to play, we start winning games, these stories will go away. That's
let me ask you this.
Sorry, can I just answer to that? Sorry.
I guess so, mate. Go on.
The thing is, then that goes all the way back, doesn't it, to did he recruit the right? We don't know how much influence he has over all the signings. We know some are his, we know some are not his, right? And it's pretty apparent the ones that are not his because they don't get a game. That's pretty apparent to me. But if you're buying a Sangare and playing him in the wrong position and an MGW and playing in the wrong position, why did you buy him? And I know we've shifted from a back 5 to a back 4, I think, with the pressure that we had last year away. I just think that then it goes wrong all the way back. And again, that's down to the manager. It has to go back to, if you buy a CDM, you buy a CDM. If you buy a number 10, you buy a number 10 and you play them there. But although he's playing them in the positions, obviously two great examples is Danilo and Dominguez, people that want to get forward, but they hardly get forward.
And you know what else? I get a little bit frustrated as well that when people say, yeah, but he didn't buy that, they weren't his players. Well, I'm sorry, you're a coach. That's your job, whether you bought those players or not.
Exactly.
And if you've been given a £35 million, if you've been given a £35 million CDM, pay him at CDM. Whether you bought him or not, that's where he belongs, not further up the pitch.
Yeah. And there's a lot of broken lines, isn't there, through the club? I think it's not just one problem. And I don't think a new manager is going to fix all those problems overnight. It's almost like, it feels to me like we'll have to rebuild all over again to get the right players for whatever manager would come in if Steve Cooper goes.
I don't agree.
We'd have to rebuild again. It's ridiculous.
I don't think it has to be that big a rebuild. Go on, sorry.
No, because you might get a manager that can make those players play the way that he wants to play in the positions that they need to be in. So there's that chance. It is. It's always a chance, isn't it? When you get a new manager, like with a new player, it's always a risk. And we could be pretty good. We could be pretty shit. We don't know yet.
I gotta address this one because this it is funny. And Thomas, love you, bro. According to Daniel Wood, Daniel Taylor.
Daniel Taylor. Daniel
Would Shelvery, according to Thomas, are you an MGW Cooper signings and not the rest? This came out in the Athletic today. So, Munich, I'm sure you'll watch us back later if you're not in the chat. Where's your source? Because we've told you all along, Wood was Cooper's signing. Shelby was Cooper's signing. Are you was Cooper's shining? But no, we spout
famously, and I'm going to butcher this because I can't remember the names, but it is there. Jurgen Klopp wanted 2 midfielders. I can't remember which 2 midfielders they were, but basically the board says, no, you're not having them, you're having these 2. And they were the 2 that was in the side that went on to win the Premier League. So he actually didn't want those players, but my God, he used them, and he used them well. So
exactly.
That's what you have to do. On the continent, I'm sure we all know, on the continent, head coach is a head coach. Yep. In general, they have no say on players. There's your players, coach them.
Yeah. Ben, I want to ask you this. Okay, this whole thing about the players down tooling and everything. Okay, let me spin it from a different way. Because these players are being told to play out of position. Morgan Gibbs-White, for example, Sangare, etc. Yeah, these players are being told to play in a defensive, non-pressing environment. These players are technically being told you're almost playing in a relegation battle. But let's assume the players have down tools, right? Can you, in any circumstances, understand why they would? Because there is more rumors coming out saying that there is a complete disagreement between certain players and the coaching and managerial staff on the tactics that are being used. In that instance, could you understand if the players were like, well, you're telling us to play crap football, we want to play decent football, we're done?
Sorry, what was the source, Wolfie, on that before crypto comes in? What was the source?
The source on what?
Yeah.
The Athletic.
What was the source of that story about the?
Is that for Munich's benefit?
No. Just for my benefit. What was the source?
Oh, I can't reveal. I'll WhatsApp you.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, shit, I nearly just knocked my radiator off my wall. Yeah, if you've been played out of position, I can understand exactly why the players are frustrated. Especially, I've said this many times before, especially the attackers. Someone like Morgan Gibbs-White, if you want to run through the middle and play balls to people, it's a lot different than trying to sprint down the wing and get a cross in. And you can tell it. You can see it in the game. Morgan Gibbs-White, he's not being played to the position where he needs to be. That's why his skill level looks, deteriorating, because they're asking him to put crosses in, which is not his preferred skill. They're asking for him to sprint down the wing. That's not what he's there for. He's a central midfielder. He's a playmaker. I think if it's gone so far that Cooper's adamant, or the coaching staff, whoever it may be, that the players play in X position, then that is going to cause uproar in the dressing room. And it may even cause, signs of jealousy. It could be that if a different player is in your position and they keep getting picked over you to play in a position that you think you're best at, then it's gonna cause havoc in the dressing room, and eventually the manager is going to lose them. I know there was some stories today saying kind of what you just mentioned, like the players are falling out, etc. We saw a comment that said there's no way you can blame Cooper because it's the players who have fallen out. But it's got to all stem from the top. If they've fallen out, there must be a reason. And if there's controversy there, then, they're all adults at the end of the day. They should be able to fix a falling out, unless it's a consistent thing week on week, where people are not happy with the style of football that they're being asked to play. Because don't forget, people like Morgan Gibbs-White will get criticised when he doesn't play well by most of the fans. But he may be thinking, well, this is unfair criticism because I'm being asked to play as a winger. So I can understand if they get a bit frustrated with it, and after it happens, week in, week out, it's going to get to you eventually.
But we're so haphazard. There's not many players in that squad apart from probably Bamidele and Santos that can't save, that have not even been given a chance. He's tinkered about so much this season. Unlike we've ever seen, that promotion season, Cooper was very reluctant to change the team, wasn't he? more often than not, we stuck with the same team, same 13, 14 players, you know, even the subs were the same, you know, it'd be maybe Zinkernagel would start one game instead of a different CDM, but generally he didn't tinker with the team too much. Even last season, barring injuries, there wasn't a lot of tinkering. This season, how many different formations have we had? How many different centre-back pairings have we had? Just in like the last half of the game.
Captains.
Yeah, captains.
Yeah, how many captains? Exactly. So that smacks of real desperation. It smacks of him not knowing what to do and how to keep the players happy. He's trying to keep everybody happy whilst he's not keeping anybody happy. And there's no definite we've got can anybody in the chat tell me what our style of play is? Because we haven't got one. There's no definite style of play.
Don't forget the leadership team.
How do the players know? How can the players know? Sorry.
Don't forget the leadership team, with Wood at the head.
Yeah, his leadership team, which is slowly crumbling apart. Who's left? I think it's just Wood left, isn't there?
His leadership team are training on different pitches, aren't they?
Exactly.
That's smart. That's smart, Ben, because now he's got leadership teams on both pitches. Shared it out. Okay, I want to flip this round about factions, okay? Because a few in the chat are talking about it. And when you watch the training videos, and I know sometimes you do, because they're probably more entertaining than the actual matches.
No,
you see them coming out in these, probably factions, probably too strong a word, yeah. No offense, I'm being a prick. But you see the Brazilians come out together on the pitch. You see, you know, the English players coming out together. You see the French-speaking players coming out together. And then you see Wood coming out on his own because he's so much slower than everyone else. So it's like, does that then relate into what's going on now in terms of these breakups? And are they getting quite cliquey is probably the right word.
You see, now I think you might appreciate the contribution Jesse Lingard gave us last season. He brought everybody together. You see, all you doubters out there.
Please don't.
To be fair, I understand exactly 100% what you're saying. But I think as human beings, that's a fairly natural thing to do. If it's somebody that speaks the same language as you, you're more likely to hang about with them than somebody you can't understand. I think that's fairly natural. But it's a manager's job to make sure that they don't become these cliques. I can't remember which manager it was, but I know that he used to actually tell players where to sit at lunch tables, and he used to make sure that everybody was mixed up. And it wasn't the same 3 people sitting over here and the same 4 people sitting over there. He used to actually... and I know people won't like this because I know football's different and I know football management different and I know the players are different. But Brian Clough, you would be out on your ear. Simple as. And people, and I do accept it's different now and the wages are different. I do accept that. But it needs a certain amount of strength as a manager. You've got to have respect as a manager. And if you're not laying the law down, you're not going to get straight. Because let's face it, football's like school kids, aren't they? School kids will behave if they've got somebody firm in charge. If you've got a teacher that lets you off and that, you play havoc and do what you like, don't you? And I think that that's possibly what's happening at Forest now, is that Steve Cooper, unfortunately, has lost the respect of that dressing room, and they're just doing what the hell they like.
And he said it the other day. He said,
"You're always welcome to say what you want on here, so you're fine here."
Cooper said in his post-match the other day, you know, he wasn't screaming or shouting at them after losing 5-0. But we've heard Morgan Gibbs-White say before that the one time he did, the players actually respected him. So does that mean that the other 99 times they don't respect him? Because according to the player interviews, he's only done it once. You know,
I mean, a similar thing happened with Graham Potter, didn't it? He was obviously the boss at Brighton. He goes to Chelsea where they've got all these superstars, and he just didn't want to listen to him. He didn't have their respect, you know.
Yeah.
And I'm afraid it looks like that's where we are right now.
You know the potential division, the rumoured division in the club in terms of the players. I mean, the right move should not be to go to the press. The right move should be go to directly to Steve Cooper. And if nothing changes from their perspective, they ask for a transfer. It's January window coming up, or they go to Marinakis. You know, it should be sorted out within the club. And anybody that doesn't buy into, I mean, Marinakis would find out more clearly whether Cooper's the right man for the job, depending on the number of people that go to him and moan, or he might think that there's a couple of bad eggs that are, you know, wrecking the dressing room atmosphere and making the players not perform on a match day, and decide to put those up for transfer. They won't want to play. If they don't want to play for Cooper, they don't want to play for Nottingham Forest, they can go for me. But, you know, it's down to, for me, it's down to, we said earlier, a lack of identity, which is my biggest bugbear with Steve Cooper. You know, we did have an identity last year, but it was very negative idea. It was a low block 5-back. We don't have one this year.
But let me
So
just
the players must be confused.
I don't know who I'm pointing this to, so someone feel free, whoever wants to pick it up. Now, something Cooper used to say in the championship was the identity of the players, the personality of the players, the English speaking of the players was really important to him. As someone mentioned in the comments before, when we came up into the Premier League, everyone could speak English. They'd almost done recruitment via personalities as well as talent. Yeah. Now that seems to have gone out the window. And I agree with Cooper on that policy, that I think if a player is coming into the club, they need to fit in the mold of the club. But it just seems at the moment the recruitment was, I feel in the championship, he maybe had more say in those personality side of things. And now we've bumped up to the Premier League. Has he been just, you know, here you go, this is a a star player, figure out how to fit him in? I don't know who wants to answer that, but go on.
I guess if you are the likes of Sangare, etc., it could also be that, you know, like you say, they don't know who Cooper is. Maybe they think they're bigger than the club. The championship level players are a different skill level to Premier League. I feel like you can probably coach a championship player more than you can a Premier League player if they're of really high skill. So they've got to come in having that respect of Cooper, and some of them won't even know who he is. So it must, you know, it's not like they've gone to a club like Man City where it's Pep in charge. Everybody knows who Pep is. Not everybody will know the managers of the club in the lower half of the table. They should play for the club. I mean, one thing that annoyed me, I don't know if we're going to cover it, but a lot of people would disagree with this, but Murillo liking that Instagram post, where one of the Fulham, Willian posted, you know, great 5-0 win, and Murillo liked it. Okay, they may be mates, but that for me is a lack of respect to your own fans. You know, if we got beat 5-0 by Derby, and I'm sure some of us, you know, have friends and stuff in Derby, you wouldn't go around liking their posts. Not us. Your friends go around like, you know, you know, your club comes first. It just seems a bit disrespectful. It seems like maybe they're a bit out of touch. And I wonder, and again, you may disagree with this, but, you know, since Worrell's almost been dropped from the club, he was always put as a centre point. As when a new person comes in, Worrell takes them around the city, he introduces them to the city, he gets them to understand the city like Cooper does so well. And since he's been out of the picture, could something like that change it? Because, you know, maybe although Worrell's not the most consistent player in the world, maybe he was a good leader off the pitch. We don't really know, but he is a homegrown talent. Him and Yates are probably the only two people who really do care for the club. Unfortunately, they're also our two worst players, but that's by the by.
Yeah, they do seem to get the club, but it's just not enough, is it? It's not enough. And end of the day, how many players play for huge clubs around the country, around the world, but I've got no connection to them whatsoever? It's clutching at straws, I feel. It just feels like we're clutching at straws again. These players would work under a manager who can communicate with them for a start, and I think that is a major thing. I think it's a major issue that he can't communicate with majority of his squad members, and the ones who he can communicate with, he's bummed out. So I don't know. We're making excuses.
It'd be no good Worrell taking Sangare around the city, would he? Because he don't speak the language. So what's the point in that?
Absolutely.
I'm kind of just trying to give the other side of the argument, if you like. But let me try and ask you this question. Does not every other club have the same issue?
Of course. Look, I'm sorry, but this is all a load of bullshit, all this. Oh, you know, we've got nobody showing around the city. Oh, you say, no, bloody hell, players move to different clubs all the time. It's not something unique to Nottingham Forest, is it? And they seem to settle in on most occasions. I don't think that every player we've brought in is unsettled because Worrell didn't show him around the city.
No.
It's like, I mean,
I think you'll find out that's exactly why Chris Wood is shit as he is.
Is that it? I'm glad we know now. Yeah, I think that we're going down the line of treating these football players like they're babies or something. I know that sometimes they can be like babies. I accept that, but they're grown fucking men, for God's sake. They come on here and I'm like absolute fortune. And you tell them it's a beautiful city. Mark Crosley was saying last night, how many Forest players, he says, once you come to Nottingham, you don't want to leave. Didn't he? He said that? Once you come to Nottingham, you don't want to leave.
He did.
So all of a sudden, we've got these players, and because they're not playing well, we're giving them excuses, basically. And for me, it's a really poor excuse. There's been footballers that have played for football clubs who've lived in hotels for 2 years, and they've been brilliant on the pitch. So these guys, when they come in, there will be club staff that look after them. There will be club staff that take them to all the best players. They've got beautiful, beautiful homes in the countryside. Come on. You're not roughing it on Upper Parliament Street in a cardboard box. You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally agree with you, Jan.
Just very quick before you jump in, it's Graham. Love you, bro. Thank you so much for becoming a member. As I said to you earlier, Graham, you can say what you want here. You can say what
you want. The word member. It's a prick, didn't we, really?
Yeah, no, Graham left one of the funniest comments in that chat the other day where he said, I'd hate to see the state of that rabbit at the end of this.
It's been pulled out of a few holes, hasn't it?
It's in my pillow now.
Just want to go back to the
Wolves game. Sorry, just go back to the Wolves game.
In one second. Just some quick keeping. That's the word I'm looking for. Well over 300 of you in here, but only 80 likes. Please hit that like button. And I told you I'm going to do it for my boy Logan. I'm checking up, and
41.
It says unknown error. What happened?
41, I think, last time I looked.
42 subscribers. Guys, Logan
Come on, guys. We're making it easy for you. Come on.
Brennan Johnson. His channel link is pinned in the comments. Please go and show him some love and some support. He's a diehard Forest fan. I'll put the link in the chat again just to make it easier for you guys. All you got to do is go and subscribe. He plays for the under-9s, I believe. So make sure that you go and just give him some support, man. This is generation.
I was going to say he's got adamantium claws as well with that name Logan. So yeah, make sure you subscribe to him, guys. Otherwise,
exactly. Logan Wolverine. We're right there, bro. We're right there, bro. So show him something. I'm going to keep pestering you guys. This stream will not end until he's on 100 subscribers. That's my promise to you, Logan.
Come on, guys. Hurry up.
Go back to formations against Wolves.
I've got to dream of
formations against Wolves. And I think we should get back onto the Wolves game, to be honest.
All right, fine. Let's talk about the stupid game that we're all.
We can go round and round in circles. We've got problems at the club. They're not going to be fixed by anyone, Cooper or anyone else overnight. They're not. We're in for a few dark months, I think. But going back to formation, tomorrow, I don't think that it matters what formation to put out. I think if you could put 10 at the back and still let in 5 goals, if the players put in that amount of shabby effort that they did. So it doesn't matter who he picks for me, because they're all playing not in form. There's not one Murillo, except, I'll take him out that mix. They're all playing in bad form, all of them, which is something drastically wrong. You could play whatever formation you want tomorrow. It doesn't matter. It's down to those players stepping up for their own pride and for the pride of Nottingham Forest and the fans.
When they walked off that,
especially those away fans, man, what ridiculous! Away fans are brilliant.
When they walked off that pitch losing 5-0, Cooper would have just been like, "Don't worry, lads," put his arm around them. There's no one there to press them. There's no one there to give them a fear of what will happen if you lose the game like that. There's no rejection. It's all too nicey nice.
Yeah.
It's the opposite of someone like Sean Dyche. Can you imagine if you went and played like that and walked into a dressing room with Sean Dyche?
Right, that wasn't good enough.
Exactly. You wouldn't play like that again because you wouldn't want to listen to his voice for half an hour.
But even if Cooper is good cop, where's the bad cops with him? It
was meant to be Stephen Reed, wasn't it? But I don't think
so.
You're the bad cop.
Brother, send me in there. I'll sort them out. Give me one half-time team talk with that lot. I'll get them to understand about the pride of this town and this city and the fans. Cooper doesn't get it as much as I get it, so yeah, send me in there. I'll sort it out.
Okay, see what we can do. Don't hold your breath.
Yeah.
Hello?
No, it's not his style.
You know what, as well, just go back to Dyche. I think people that know me know that I really do not like Sean Dyche football at all. But one thing he can do is motivate a team. That is for sure. And if you look at the way Everton are playing now, their squad's not better than ours. But look at the way they're fighting for themselves, for the manager, for the club.
Yeah.
Ours aren't.
It will be the same with Chris Wilder at Sheffield United.
Yeah,
he will come in and he will get those players playing to the level that they can play to. Well, you know, it's not going to be the highest level in the Premier League, but they're going to start playing to their kind of full potential. The players we've got at the moment are playing to maybe 30 or 40% of their potential, with the odd few people. You know, Murillo's playing pretty well, but apart from that, it just looks like all the desire has gone. And I think tomorrow, unfortunately, we're going to see the same. I mean, I've been quite optimistic recently. My prediction for the Fulham match was 5-0. Unfortunately, it was to the wrong fucking team. Tomorrow, my prediction is going to be 5-0 to Wolves, because I just don't believe anymore that we can go out there and put a performance in.
That is an example.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah.
All right, but I want to. Go on.
I was just going to say, it makes a massive difference if you've got desire and motivation. If you can play to whatever your highest potential is, and I've said this before, I'll come back to the Chelsea match with Worrell and McKenna. If they played like that every game, they would be solid Premier League defenders. The problem is there's no consistency there. And maybe it's because they're not quite skillful enough, but also that's got a lot to do with motivation and desire in the game. When we brought all the new centre backs in, Worrell and Yates's skill level the next game went like this because they thought they were going to lose their position. It's a mental game as well as the skills that they have. It's not just about, you know, they're good football players. They need to have the mindset that they want to win. But in order to have that, you've got to have someone at the top who's telling them, one, you've got to believe you can win. And two, if you come in at half time and you're playing crap, you've got to do the complete opposite of what Cooper's clearly been doing all season and make them go out and have a better second half. Because we hardly ever have a better second half. Like maybe, you know, 1 out of 20 games we come out and look a better team than the first half.
Okay.
Well, I think that's shown by the amount of games we've lost from winning positions, isn't it?
We sit back, don't we?
Yeah,
that's depressing. I walked away 5 minutes thinking you need to stop talking about Wolves by now. But fine, we're gonna do this. Let's do it properly, right? Let's talk about Cooper and the Wolves scenario. Let's talk about the taboo word Cooper. Okay, so it's pretty much rumored everywhere that he's got. I think I've even seen it on mainstream media. It's hitting now. Lose tomorrow, you're done. Or I think the wording was 1 game away from the sack. I don't know what that means. Okay, but I want to play through the 3 scenarios. And chap, play along with us. Play along with us. If Forest lose tomorrow, just put some Y's in the chat or N's for maybe.
No M's.
Why?
Yeah,
no maybes.
No fences.
No sitting on the fences.
Don't give him the option.
No, just go yay or nay.
Sorry.
Cooper's been sitting on the fence all season, man.
I'm sick of these bloody, ins, outs, on the fence. On the fence means out. I'm telling you.
Okay, fine. All right. N or I can't remember the letters now. Y or N? Okay. What have I started? F. So, I mean, there's a few N's coming through. I mean, Owen saying
I don't even know what the Y nor N.
I can't remember what the question was.
If Cooper loses tomorrow, Forest, should I say, loses tomorrow? My God, I'm turning into Cooper FC here. Is Cooper gone? Yes or no? Does anyone here think he would survive on the panel?
No.
No. Regardless.
I think he may. I think he may. It may be.
And why are you just throwing?
Oh my God,
Maybe.
He's on the fence.
I don't think so.
I
Not
think,
with
I
all
think,
the unrest in the background.
I think
Under what
rumours going on.
circumstances then? And just if you say yes, just be the devil's advocate. Say yes, and under what circumstances does he stay?
And what I was going to say is, I think obviously it depends on Mr. Marinakis and how far along he is in appointing a new boss. I don't think he wants to sack Cooper with no new boss ready. So that's why I think if he's got somebody lined up in preparation, I think yes. But if he's working on somebody, contracts or whatever, then I think he may wait until that's done.
Oh, so we're
Why
kicking that dreaded can again, aren't we?
Interim up. Why would he sack him?
You're
It's
an
going to
F
go. It's going to go, by the way. It's going to go. It's just a case of when.
You're an F then.
well, and what if
You're
we
the one
win?
that said
Yeah,
you're
it's a
F.
massive F.
What if we win 3-0 tomorrow, Ant?
All right, wait.
Yeah, but that's okay.
That's the host.
Stop.
the host.
Ben, seriously. No, stop.
You don't know how this works.
So, anyway, we've done the loss, right? We're going to move on to draw crypto. Go on then, crypto. You kick us off, Mr. Freaking running the show, right? Go on.
Well, if we draw
Right,
tomorrow, will
stop
he
with
go?
your Y's and N's in the chat, reset, and go Y on an N now for a draw. All right, go on, almighty crypto.
I think Marinakis is so pissed off that when Mulligan-Tyre plays tomorrow, he's going to hand him his P45.
Why would they play Mulligan-Tyre?
Yeah, why would they do that?
Oh, we're aware. Oh, there you go. That's how much I know.
Hey, Carl, if you're watching,
You can tell he doesn't care. He just doesn't care anymore. Home away.
When you're watching that, there's your quote of the week to put up on Twitter. I knew we'd get on there eventually.
If we draw, I think he will stay.
What,
Really?
indefinitely?
No, not indefinitely, but I think it's the credit in the bank thing.
Can I ask a
think he will
question,
get
guys?
Mate, he's so far overdrawn. There's no credit in the bank.
I know. I wouldn't agree with the decision. If it was up to me, when we drew 2-2 against Luton, I would have sacked him off then. But
You would have sacked him off then. I sacked him off. Yeah, I would have.
Then, yeah.
Can I ask a question to you guys? Has anybody that's ever had 1 or 2 games to save their job ever survived?
Ever saved their job?
for
No.
the season?
No.
They
Got a
never
dealer
have,
with-
have they?
No,
They
it won't be
always
the
go.
right. But
Right, can I add the credit in the bank? The credit in the bank
yeah.
comment. This splits into 2 areas for me. There's no credit in the bank from Marinakis at all. He would have got rid of him long ago. He's on his 4th vote of confidence now. Right. The credit in the bank is from the fans. That's where the credit in the bank's from. So there is credit in the bank. I think he's on his last one, but the credit is from the support of the fans. The majority of the fan base want Cooper in still.
Yeah, but Dino,
You think
if we,
so? The majority. I think so.
if we turn,
I think it's still the
Wolves
majority. Yeah.
If we turn
I think the
Wolves
majority down the ground.
tomorrow,
No,
mate.
no,
I'm
no,
not
no,
sure
no.
overall.
Stop, one at a time. Go on.
No,
yeah.
I was saying, I think the majority down the ground, maybe, but not overall. But I did have another question I wanted to ask you guys, and then I'll shut up. You know, with the people that are insisting that Cooper should stay in no matter what, blah, 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 and we're terrible, awful people for wanting him to go, perhaps.
Pricks.
If they were looking at another club, let's say Luton, Sheffield United, Burnley, Bournemouth, and they saw that manager had only won 2 games in a year and a half in the Premier League, and that they'd only won 1 game out of the last 11, would they be actually, if they were dispassionate and looking at that, would they say, yeah, that manager deserves to stay? Or would they?
And just got hammered 5-0 as well by Fulham.
And just hammered 5-0 as well.
Yeah, we're forgetting the way it's progressed. It's got from bad to worse to even to unbelievable.
So if the answer to that is no, if they looked at it dispassionately as football fans, they would say, yeah, I think he needs to go. That means that the only reason that they want to keep our current manager in is sentiment, not any logic or any other reason. It's purely sentiment. And we can't afford to be run on sentiment. And now,
that's purely true. And there's no argument at the moment that isn't sentimental. I think this, to answer your actual question, and Owen makes a good point here. Bournemouth started terrible and nearly sacked their new manager. He's turned it around. what I'd say to your question about Sheffield United, Bournemouth, Burnley, blah, 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 is for me, if a manager is newly appointed that year, then whatever side of the fence, I would say you'd be more favorable to saying play it out unless it gets crazy stupid like it did with sacking Button. Yeah. When a manager's been in the club for a year, maybe, or he came to half through the season, he's had the summer, etc., something like that, then I think the standards change. The example I'd give is Poch at Chelsea. Yeah. If Poch was now in his second season at Chelsea playing this dire, then he should go.
Yeah.
He should go.
Yeah. Agreed.
You can grant a little bit of leniency when he's inherited crap, for example, with Poch, etc. So that'd be my answer back to you. So Cooper, you would put in that second pot. This is not his first season. It's not. Well, it's just he's had 2 full years, but if you like, this is his 3rd season within the club. So he's not in that glance across it pot or whatever the right word would be. Gunners.
And no, yeah, just to give some context to that Bournemouth situation. So that Iriola came in as a new manager with a definite game plan or style of play that he wanted to implement. Now, it took him a good 8 to 10 games to get that understanding within the squad, within the players. Also, he had some major injuries that eventually came back. And now you're seeing they're understanding the gameplay. But he came in with a definite game plan, and it took him time for that to come into fruition. We haven't had, who can seriously say we've had a definite game plan from the start of this season? Let's forget last season. Let's wipe last season off. We said we're coming into this new season, brand new clean slate. So even let's go from a clean slate of this season. Yeah. What have we seen that shows that we've definitely got a style of play, a definite way of playing that suits us and suits the players around him, and that the players can buy into? Because I've not seen any of that. Even a
let me be your Cooper. Let me be your Cooper FC here against what you just said. He's beaten Villa, he's beaten Chelsea, and he's beaten who's the other one? Sheffield United. Yeah, Forest not in the relegation zone, and he's been given loads of new players. So, what would you say to that argument? As we have seen stuff. Because he's beaten those teams.
But his job is to coach those new players and create a style of play. I'm arguing that we have no style of play. So he's had this time, he's had the whole summer, he's had 3 international breaks to implement what he needs to. We haven't been playing week in, week out. This is the first midweek game we've had in the Premier League this season. You know, so he's had from one weekend to another weekend to get his game plan into place, something that he always complained about in the Championship, that he didn't get time to do that. And I understand. Maybe it works better when he doesn't have time to give. And he's also said that he's not had a single day off. Maybe take a day off. Maybe refresh yourself and refresh your mind, because everybody at some point gets overworked and work can get on top of it. If you let work take over, because it is, end of the day, it's still a job. I know it's a lifestyle to us and the results and all that sort of stuff, but it's still a job to him. If you're taking your job home with you and you're never taking a break from it, then you're never going to have a fresh set of eyes on it or whatever, you know. But he hasn't made it work. Simple as that. He's had the time, he's had the players, he's had the financial backing, he's had the owner's backing. Like you said, four times he's backed him, you know, and nobody survives that. Nobody gets 4 votes of confidence. And so what we're seeing is quite unique, but it's unique because he's had the credit in the bank, but the credit's run out. Cooper's ideas have run out, and I'm not seeing anything positive. And the players, if that's rubbing off for me, I think the players are the same. And I think we've seen it on the pitch. Go on.
As Ange Postecoglou, he did it straight away, didn't he? He completely changed his style. He went in with a methodology he brought from Scotland and from Australia before that and Greece before that, and literally said, we are playing this way. And by the first Premier League game of the season, they were playing in a very, a very clear way, very, very modern, incredible style. And I'm going to plug the video now. I did a video on it, so everybody needs to know. But it's really unique, from defensive to attacking phases.
Exactly.
But I look at it every game now since I did that video, and I can see it. I can see it every single game. Can see it.
And the players can see that.
He's got his flaws.
The fans can see it. But he also, what he had to deal with was the talisman wanting to leave. You know, he had to deal with that when he first came in. That was his first point of call, wasn't it? And he's created a team. That will. Doesn't matter how many injuries they've got, they won't change the style of play. The style of play stays as it is, right? So he's implemented that, and he's done it, as you said, in a very short space of time. And we say footballers aren't as smart as all that, and they can't pick it up, but they've picked it up, and they've picked it up really well, you know. And to draw some comparisons, in fact, watching that second half against Fulham, it looked like when Tottenham went down to 9 men. That's how we were playing. We looked like we had 9 men in that game, you know. But going back to it, he managed to do that. So why couldn't another manager do that? Cooper hasn't managed to. Cooper's not managed to inspire anybody, not the players around him, not the players that were there, and not the players that have come in. So whatever argument there is for keeping him, the argument for not keeping him is this season. Look at what we've done this season and what we've not achieved. Getting the odd result here and there, you're going to get that. Even the worst teams get a result every now and again.
Derby got 11 points. Derby got 11 points, for God's sake.
Exactly.
Just before you jump in, Dino, Chris, thank you so much for the £2. Appreciate it, bro.
And
not so.
Yeah.
Now, Spurs.
Still great football to watch.
Spurs have lost 4 out of 5. Yes, they have. Yes, they have lost 4 out of 5. Yeah. But if you look at their start, he had the best start of any new manager ever in top flight.
They'll pick up. They've got a lot of injuries. They'll pick up.
If you balance it out,
the
I still
gifted
think he's going to
membership.
suffer some.
One second. That's gone to Proton Jack. Make sure you show Vic some love. And Brandon with the £2, which I can't bring up because I had to jump out and jump back in. Can anyone still see it?
There it is.
Thank you, Brandon.
Enjoying what did I miss? Brandon, honestly, nothing, man. We're just trying to avoid talking about the game tomorrow, but we've ended up.
I'll keep trying to bring it back to the game, but I've given up now. To be honest. You were saying about the 3 scenarios, weren't you? We did the win.
Yeah.
No, we didn't. We did the loss. You were about to do the draw, and then we got waylaid. So let's go back to that.
All right, let's go back to that because it's quite fun to do. All right, so Gondino, where are you on a draw? In chat, where are you on a draw? In fact, let me put a poll up that says. Now, I don't know how to do a poll that would have that many connotations. Ignore me.
Draw. Okay.
In the chat again.
A lucky draw, I think, is gone. A draw with the players hugging and kissing each other and back in unison again because he's given them the best team talk ever. He stays temporarily. So the next time we kick this can down the road and it happens again and you get 3 losses on the spin.
Yeah.
So it depends on how they turn up, I think. And unite, you know, they all show united. If it's so easy to see a team that's not united together. But I've got to say, Man U are the most splintered side at the minute in terms of, you know, anti-manager, splits in the dressing room. They hate the ownership, but they're still picking up results, man. You know, we could be there, certainly against the lesser clubs. Not saying Wolves are a lesser club.
We can't know. Our results against the teams around us is horrendous. Just the teams around us. Our record is horrendous, mate.
Yeah, but the manager needs a tactic that they all understand and that you can see on the pitch. All the players need to go out believing in him, and they need to put a shift in. It's not just one factor that's going to win the game or draw the game. It's all those things. Those 3 things need to be complete, and I can't see it tomorrow, but.
Dino, you know, on that point about everyone believing in him, do you think that if Marinakis was to swap manager, that he would want to choose a specific match, maybe either against a less good team or maybe a home match, to prove to the fans that he's made the right decision? Just giving you an example, if he brings in a new manager for the Spurs match, I know Spurs are not in form, but let's say Spurs hammer us because it's Spurs at the end of the day. Or do you think he would be tactical about the game that he brought the new manager in?
Yeah, I know what you're saying, but we are one of the worst teams in the league statistically.
Yeah,
you know,
and
if
metric.
you take away the 3 poor clubs that came up, because they were poor, the clubs. I mean, you look at Leicester, Leeds. If you put a division of 6 in with these 3 now, and then Leicester, Leeds, and Southampton, you know, I think that the Championship teams would probably beat probably not Luton so much, but definitely Sheffield. Sheffield United would probably be bottom of that table, wouldn't they? If you had a little table like that.
We only just beat
Burnley, So we have 3 weaker teams, which is kind of masking over the fact that we're doing really bad this season.
Yeah.
We were one of those 3 teams last year. We're not this year. We shouldn't be. I know we shouldn't be in Europe and things like that, but we should be. Our aim this season should be heading towards the 11th position for me. Just under mid-table. Because that's good, really good progress for me.
Because if you're Mr. Marinakis, let's fast forward it. Let's say we've stayed up. We finished in 17th position. Is he going to be happy with that?
No.
We finished in 16th last season, and then we dropped.
On that. I get fed up and keep repeating, but obviously everybody's entitled to their opinion, and I have no issue with anybody. I knew it. I was watching a podcast the other day. It's not the one you're thinking of, okay? It's not the one you're thinking of. And I really like this podcast. I like the guys on it, and I respect their opinions and everything. But they are very, very Cooper in. And they actually said, both of them, I'd rather Forest finish 17th with Cooper than 13th with somebody else. I'm sorry, I cannot get on board with that.
Yeah, and the next step,
and these are the kind of people that are calling us like not Forest fans and stuff.
Yeah, calling us deluded.
Not them. Not them.
No. Listen, at the end of the day, everybody's entitled to an opinion. All fan channels are. But this Cooper in out, it's all just a personal opinion. Not everybody on the same channels feels the same way. Ant was very much a Cooper in all last season. I was probably
a lot of this season as well.
Dip out. Yeah, I was probably one of those first ones to dip out because I didn't like the style of play that we did. But that's everyone's prerogative, not just ours. Everyone's. The Cooper ins and the Cooper outs. It doesn't matter. We're still Nottingham Forest, and we still support until the day we take our last breath.
Marinakis has to make a decision though, because we can't let it go like last season, where it comes down to the last 2 games, and we don't even know if we're going to stay in the league.
Yeah, agreed. It's kind of now or never, really, isn't it? That's the thing with it. All right, let me just quickly do this.
Now's the ideal time, isn't it? Now's the ideal time.
Exactly. Brandon with a gifted membership, you absolute legend. That went to Chris. Chris, I know I've seen you already show legend Brandon some love. Thank you so much, Brandon. There it is. Confirmation of respect from Chris. And Wazza with the £2 super sticker. Thank you,
Wazza.
Wazza the legend.
You know what's funny? The Crystal Palace fans are shitting themselves because that's where Steve Cooper. That's where he's rumored to be going next.
It says something when the Derby County fans on Twitter are wanting Cooper to stay, because everybody else can see it. All the clubs from the outside can see it.
Are they?
Yeah, they want. They're trying to troll Forest fans by saying, "I hope you keep Cooper because he's going to get you relegated."
There you go.
Okay. Just quickly from Chris as well with the 11-month. Thank you so much. 3 points more important. Okay, let's do the final bit. Emma, I know. I'm sorry. The players are pissing us off as well. I know, but I just want to do this last scenario.
I agree with that. Yeah.
This one is the.
You know what? I can't wait till we can move on.
Yeah.
And talk about the team and the football.
Agreed. Yeah.
If he goes on Saturday, I can't wait to go back to being a happy clapper on Sunday, man. I really can't. Anyway, let's do this final one. The win scenario. If Forest win tomorrow, is Monday. Is Cooper safe?
Nope.
Chat, why ends?
No. No. I'm sorry, there's no scenario where he's safe. I'm surprised that Marinakis didn't speak to him directly after the game. He stormed off, didn't he? But apparently he spoke to his son. And I don't know what he would have said that was any different to what his dad was probably thinking. But no, honestly, I don't see any scenario where it's beneficial for Cooper to stay, to be honest, for the club, for him or for the club. And he might have said a few weeks ago that he'd have to be dragged out, but I'm sure he won't need to be dragged out on his hands and knees or however he worded it. But no, I don't see it. I'm sorry. Yeah, I think the chat totally agree with me. I don't think there's any scenario, or even a win, even a 5-0 win to reverse the 5-0 we lost against
I
Fulham.
think I'm the only one that disagrees out of all the chat. I think if he wins good with a good performance, I think he stays in for a bit longer.
A lot of the chat said
otherwise, why would he give him another game?
Yeah,
he's giving him another game because he doesn't want to put Stephen Reed in charge.
One at a time, bloody hell.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to put Stephen Reed in charge.
Me either.
You know, there's no benefit. There's no benefit to sacking him right now when you've got no other manager lined up. But he's going. He's going. I don't see what protects him.
I don't see why we would do that, Ed. I don't see why we'd give him another game. Let's say we win 5-0. We won't. But let's say we win 5-0. And then he's going to look a bit of a fool on Monday if he sacks him.
Yeah,
I think. That's my personal opinion.
Yeah, no, I understand what you're saying. But it would just paper over the cracks. What would it actually achieve?
Totally agree. Totally agree. I don't disagree with you.
Anybody looking at it would understand that. So I don't think, apart from, like I say, the loyalists, Forest fans, or Cooper fans, should I say? Sorry, they're not Forest fans, they're Cooper fans. But loyalists,
Forest fans.
You know, I know, but they're Cooper fans first and foremost. You know, clearly, because Cooper first.
They have their little Cooper badges and.
Yeah. They've all got badges now. Yeah. I expect to see a few of those.
The stage where you say you prefer to finish 17 with this manager rather than 13 with another manager, you've lost being a Forest fan first.
I know, and the only other
Forest fan second.
Yeah,
and
they would have definitely lost the dressing room.
Yeah, and the extension to that comment now Ant's just talking about is that those who've said, we'd rather get relegated with Cooper, under Cooper, you know, so that's just the extension of that 17th place finish, you know, so there's no appeasing those fans other than Cooper stays until we die, you know, so there's no appeasing those fans.
I'm not in that camp.
I'm not about appeasing them. I'm about keeping my football club in the Premier League and being competitive.
I disagree. I still think their hearts are in the right place. In their minds, they think.
But don't stop thinking with your hearts. Start thinking with your heads, man. Start thinking with your head.
Tell them how to think. You can't tell them how to think.
No, I have to tell them to
they can't tell you how to think.
Of course I can. Everybody else tells you how to think. You're told to think this, and you can't think that, and you can't disagree to. You can't go against the narrative. So everybody else is told how to think. I'll tell you how to think. Use your brain. Use your own brain. Stop listening to pricks. Sorry.
The thing is, Wolfie, every year over eggs, where we're going to finish. You know, it was 4th in our first.
Well, it's my fault now. It's my fault.
No. Listen to. Everybody calm the fuck down, right? But all fans have got different expectations of where they'll think their own club individually. It's all of our club collectively, but individually, everybody's got a different opinion. We'll win the league. You know, some others might be, I'm happy to play in the Championship. It's all different, and it's all different. People want different things, and they're entitled to that. But calm down.
If we did get relegated, I guarantee you 90% of the players would be the first people who want to leave the club.
Oh, of course they would. Of course they would.
Yeah.
If we get relegated, I'm not 100% convinced that Cooper
would probably go Crystal Palace.
If he got
that'd show everyone. Can you imagine that? If we get relegated,
football is very fickle, and money talks.
Let's talk about someone who's not a prick, which is Kenneth. Kenneth, absolutely. I love that surname. If it is your surname, pretty cool surname. Thank you so much for gifting a membership. I genuinely don't know who's got it, so whoever got it, make sure you show some love to Sir Halfpenny there.
Is it Halfpenny or is it Halfpenny?
Halfpenny.
Halfpenny.
Halfpenny. It's not pronounced Halfpenny.
No, whatever. Anyway, this is an interesting one, right? I have seen this floating around. There are some people who want us to lose tomorrow in order for Cooper to get sacked. This is a tasty question, Kels.
A very good question.
What is the stance on it? And just before we get into that, Brandon, with the £2 score predictions for tomorrow. Thank you for the £2. We will get into the score predictions in just a second. This one's an interesting one because I'm not really on that boat, boys. Like, for me, the ideal scenario would be Forest win 1-0, really crappy performance, and Cooper gets given his marching orders and we get 3 points. Because honestly, I don't really see where the points come from. However, if people are looking at it for Forest to lose tomorrow, and looking at it, I would assume the greater good, if you like, short-term pain, long-term gain, then I got no problem with it. At the end of the day, they're Forest fans. They can think what they want. So Chat, how do you feel about it? I can see a few of you saying you're one of those, etc. And
yeah, I'm a Forest fan, mate. Look, Forest first, Forest everything.
Yeah.
There's no way I could ever want Forest to do anything but win. You know what? I'll give you a little, very quick example. Many years ago, Man United were in a title challenge with Newcastle United, and I desperately wanted Newcastle to win, or more accurately, Man United not to win. And Newcastle came to playing Forest when they were right near the end of the season. And I thought, I don't know. On the way there, I don't know. Ian Wode's scored, and I went fucking crazy. And I thought, I don't give a shit about Man U. I don't give a shit about Newcastle. This is my team. You know, so when push comes to shove, I always want Forest to win. You know.
But do you understand what the comment is about? Like, can you,
and listen, I fully understand that, and I wouldn't have a problem with somebody who said that, because they're absolutely right in the respect that if you believe that Cooper's not the man for the job and he needs to go, and a loss would ensure that, 100% understand what you're saying. But on the day, if Forest do lose and it has the consequence that we think it may have, then I'm not going to turn around and say it was a terrible thing that we lost. But I won't go into a match wanting us to lose. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it kind of does in your weird and world logic. Yeah. Ben, what do you think about it? I think this is an interesting question. Just before I get Crypto's opinion, Nicky Clarkey, you are all legends.
Oh,
Logan's on cloud 9. Tell him to come down to cloud 8, because I just checked and the sub count is only on 58. Chat, you are still 42 away from getting Logan to 100. So the link's pinned in the chat. Show our future number 9 some love, and make sure you subscribe to his channel. Honestly, his intros on this video are better than us. I have to say.
I was going to wait till after the stream, but I'm subbing right now. I've subbed right now. I was going to wait, but I've subbed right now.
Nick, thanks so much.
Remember us when you're famous, right? Share some of that wealth.
Logan, yeah, when you're picking up those awards, yeah. Remember who got you there, yeah. Don't forget your boys. Don't forget your boys.
Yeah, his own talent, mate.
Crypto, well, what's your take on this one? It's quite interesting. I'll bring some of the comments in from the chat as well. Go on, Crypto.
Yeah, so personally, I'm 100% for the win. If we're to bring a new manager in, which I think we should, then the whole reason we're doing that is to try and get points. So I don't think we should turn down points just to get rid of somebody. You know, we've got to get points on the table. We're at, what are we, three points or so of relegation if the other teams get a win around there. We need to get the points. I want to see Forest win. I always want to see Forest win. I don't even like draws personally. I prefer to go out and just try and get the win and go for it. I can understand if people want him gone so much that, you know, they want us to get hammered and he'll go. But for me, that kind of defeats the point of getting rid of the manager, because at the end of the day, it's a points-based business. So look, if you cared that much about him really going, you could just say, right, he goes as soon as we lose, and it would have the same effect, because if we were still getting points on the board, then what would be the point of sacking him when we win? Personally, like I said, I would have got rid of him after the Luton game. The Luton game was shocking. That the tactical decisions in that game were truly awful. That's where he lost me as a fan of his. But I wouldn't, if he did win tomorrow, especially if we turn them over, I think it would be a very awkward move for Marinakis to get rid of him.
That's what I'm saying. And yeah, as well, Harvey, go show Harvey some love as well. Harvey's a legend in here, day in, day out, week in, week out. Harvey, if you put your link in the chat, I'll pin it in there for you as well.
Yeah.
And then there's a couple of things I just wanted to address from the chat. I think I tagged some of these. Richard saying thoughts on Will Still. I don't want to talk about managers, or because this is the age-old question, Dino. If you want Cooper out, who's coming? That's not Richard saying it. That's not Richard saying it. On the actual managers that are being linked and being rumored, etc. For me, as much as whatever people think, I think of Cooper, I don't want to talk about actual managers or start profiling managers until or if he's no longer the manager, because it's not our job, in my opinion. It's not going to be my job. My dream manager at Forest would be Zidane or Pep, or Marinakis getting Pep out of the claws of Man City. Is that ever going to happen? Of course it's not. If I wanted, I don't know, I can't think of any managers now. Who else is a manager in Premier League? If I wanted Postecoglou, yeah, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I have no say in it. Dino's got no say in it. Ez has a little bit of a say in it, but not much. And probably's never heard of these managers anyway. So it doesn't matter. So the point here is we will discuss all those managers. We'll profile them if and when it does happen, but not while he's there. Not while he's there.
Yeah,
that would be disrespectful.
Yeah, but again, if someone wants to do it, if you guys have opinions on who you want as your next manager and all this crap, talk away. All right, Dina, so back to you on this. I want Forest to lose.
I'm actually worried about relegation at the minute. So we need points, and we need to scrap for every single point for me. There was somebody that said you need to sometimes cut off a piece of you to grow again. And I think we're at that stage now. But would I want Forest to fall into demise and lose games? No, because I'm a Forest supporter. And I've been a Forest supporter for a very, very long time. But I do understand. I do understand it. I do understand some people. I know some people don't understand, but I do understand. You need to, I don't know, it's just gone too far for me now, I think. I'm hoping he proves me wrong tomorrow. I really do. But he'll have to prove me wrong over the next 10 games as well, not just tomorrow.
And
that's gone.
I'm here. I'm just trying to set up my stream in a couple of minutes.
You your trousers on, are you?
No, I haven't.
I know, what you're saying. You're saying it's a ridiculous subject. Forest fans should never won. But I'm telling you, there's plenty of talk about it, and plenty of these people that are saying it are actually being ridiculed for it. Yeah. We're not going to shy away from these weird or wonderful topics. I know where you're going, but anyway, let's get into the score predictions. Let's end this stream with a donut. Ez.
Red.
Head and heart.
Head and heart.
Head and heart. Let's do head and heart.
You know what? It's the same answer. I think it's the same answer I gave last time. 3-0 to them, says my head. My heart says I don't think we'll get anything out of it. My heart says, you know, if they've got any semblance of self-respect, that they'll put in a performance for themselves. Whether they do it for Cooper or not, I don't care. They need to do it for the fans who pay their wages, basically. That's who they need to do it for, not necessarily for Cooper. So I do want to see some fight from my club. I don't think we'll get a result out of it. I think they're a very good team. We haven't talked enough about Wolves and how well they've done, to be honest. I think they've been really... They're the underdogs. You know, they've been the underdogs for a long time, but I think tomorrow they're definitely the favourites going into that game. And I think they deservedly so. I think we've got a manager who's got a game plan, who's made it work, and who's been given the time as well at this new club. So yeah, I don't think we'll get a result tomorrow, but let's just hope that we don't embarrass ourselves.
The problem is,
did you watch the whole stream? I did say about the performance earlier on. I did say that the players need to get on that pitch. Piss off, Wolfie. I said the players need to get on that pitch.
She didn't watch the whole stream, mate. If you kept up with the comments, she said, "Sorry, I've joined late."
Okay, well, watch back before you comment like that, then.
No, we got you back. Sorry, we got you back.
You could twist the previous question though on the players. You could say, if the players don't want Cooper there, then tomorrow it's up to them, really.
Oh, well.
Would people?
I don't know why you get it triggered, Dino. I flip flop all the time, mate.
I didn't flip flop. I've said the first thing. The players need to put a performance in for the fans and for their own personal pride tomorrow. Whether they want Cooper in or not, they're professional footballers that get paid a lot of money.
Yeah, but the problem is, Dino. The problem is, Dino, they don't stick to the plan.
But if we don't start picking up points, we'll be going down.
Laurie, yeah. When you see Dino next to the ground, give him a hug.
You know what, right? I've just had a little thought as we're discussing Forest Wolves.
Good.
There are a lot of people out there that said, "Who's better than Cooper? Who can we get? Who can you suggest?"
No one.
How many people? How many people? What?
No one's better than Cooper, mate.
Yeah. Well, no. Yeah, but so how many people would have picked out Gary O'Neill? He's doing a fine job at Wolves.
Excuse me.
He's doing an absolutely fine job at Wolves.
Is he? 2 wins in the last 5, 3 losses. Is he getting
They're
overhyped?
above us. They're
They lost
above
to
us.
Sheffield
Yeah, but
United.
I think everybody in the country recognises that Wolves, more than anybody else this season, have been truly shafted by those twats at VAR. Yeah,
Pricks,
I think
pricks
everybody
at VAR.
accepts that.
Pricks.
So if you give them the points that they really should have had, I know it's ifs and buts, but they should have had. This is errors by VAR. They'd have probably 7 or 8 more points, and that makes a big difference to their league position. So all I'm trying to say is there are people out there that you wouldn't necessarily think of. That's what I'm trying to say. Was there a question about whether
Yeah,
we
it was.
win?
A random tangent. It was like a really easy question, score prediction. But you're gonna wait now because Simon F is way more important than you. Thanks so much for the £2.
Absolutely.
Would be more, but the kids want the Xmas present.
that's
You
brilliant,
spoil
mate.
those kids right.
No, yeah, bless you, man. Give it to the kids.
Thank
man.
you so much, bro. Appreciate it. All right, and we'll try it again. Let's see if you can compute this. What do you think the score prediction will be?
Oh, but how was it? Yeah, predictions. I remember vaguely that. Yeah. I'll go for 2 or 3-0 to Wolves.
Is that head or
Yeah.
heart? Is that head or heart?
Yeah,
That's just reality.
Both.
My heart doesn't give a shit anymore. So it's my heart lost heart.
Go, Crypto.
I'm normally pretty optimistic. I pretty much always go for I've nearly always
5-0.
nearly always predict a Forest win. But this, after the last performance, I'm going to go for 7-0 Wolves.
7-0 Wolves.
Yeah,
Giving them 7.
that's my.
Jumping a bit far the other way.
Yeah, no,
Only goes 69-0 Forest.
Exactly. I think we'll get absolutely slammed tomorrow. I think the dressing room is completely gone, and I think tomorrow we'll get absolutely turned over.
Yeah,
I genuinely think it'll be worse than Fulham. Genuinely, I'm not joking. I think tomorrow we'll get absolutely backhanded back to Nottingham.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is everybody really pleased that the Villa Arsenal match is on at 5:30? So you're not like, oh, which one do I watch?
No, I'm not, because I got to do the player ratings. So no, I'm not that happy about it. I'll miss watching proper football.
Yeah, but look what happened last time. You didn't bother. You just went straight on GOR. I mean, what is an announcement?
That was needed.
Anyway, Dino, you got hugs incoming, so I should put a smile on your
Thank
face.
you, Laurie. Hugs back.
Now, give us your prediction. Will that smile stay on his face with this prediction or not? Let's find out.
3-0 Wolves. My broken heart says 1-0 Forest, but it is broken.
Why are you not so negative?
Who's gonna
everyone says about you?
We're playing awful.
You are negative.
We're playing awful.
Dino, who's going to
know each other? It's ridiculous, man.
Who is going to score? Forest?
Who knows? Look at Everton. What they've just done.
He's just negative. Look, I'm going to say Forest are going to do a Forest in reverse. And Forest will win 1-0 with a Morgan Gibbs.
You said that last week. Mate.
I was right the other week, right? So I get to be right one week and wrong the other. Okay.
You wish.
1-0 Forest. Morgan Gibbs White. Cooper still.
Morgan Gibbs Wood.
Morgan Gibbs White will be stuck on the motorway when the team bus is left without him.
Mate, I've got a stream in 2 minutes. Let's crack it. Can we get
Actually, he can probably stay at like his mum's. I don't know if his mum's still in Wolves or whatever, but yeah, it is what it is. Brandon with the £2 saying, you guys make it easier to be a Forest fan. I don't know how anything right now can make it easy to be a Forest fan, bro, but I'm glad it helps in whatever way. Okay, that's it. I think we are done. We still got that picture. We'll be back tomorrow.
Just drawn that.
We'll be back tomorrow with the watch along. And then after that, we got the player ratings. And of course, because you guys enjoyed it so much, we'll have the fan call-in show. I don't know if that's within the 24-hour rule, but you're more than welcome to call. We will see you then. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already. Come on, Reds.